Welcome to Power Up with Power Coach Alishia. I'm Power Coach Alishia, your source of fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, and educational, plus life transformational coaching with a twist of tough mama bear, no fluff, no hand holding, no bullshit love. I specialize in helping you get out of your own way, put yourself first without feeling guilty, and find yourself again. Today, we're going to be talking all about morning and daily routines to help you find yourself again. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this text sent out. While I'm doing that, I want to talk about a few of the announcements that I have for you. Number one is if you have not joined my store shopping group, make sure you go to community.soulhealingzone. Wait, is that this group? No. Yeah. shop.soulhealingzone.com. Again, that's shop.soulhealingzone.com. So that group is where all the products and product-based classes happen. We have clothes and shoes and a lot of awesome stuff that goes on in the group, plus crystals and pure romance and aromatherapy candles and essential oils. Like there's a lot of amazing products that go along with helping you heal your soul. And then this community is all about life coaching, mental fitness, getting your mind right, the action that you're taking. Hi, Cindy, to really, do the internal work for soul healing. Okay. So if again, you are not in the shopping group, make sure you go to shop.soulhealingzone.com. Again, that's shop.soulhealingzone.com. If you are not on the text reminder list for when we go live here, be sure to send the word power up to the number 74121. Again, that's power up to the number 74121. And you can also send the word sweet, S-U-I-T-E for now. I'm going to change it to soul, but sweet, S-U-I-T-E, to the number 74121 to be notified of when new items go up for sale. So there's just a couple of things that I wanted to let you know of. Hello to Latoya. I'm so excited to be here today. You guys, it feels like I wasn't here last week, but I know I was here last week, but it literally does not feel like I was. And I was, I don't know, going through the group, doing something. I'm like, why has it been so long since I did a live? Seriously? Hi, Kathy. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever. Seriously, it's literally only been 1 week, but it feels like a lifetime. Or has it not only been 1 week? I don't know. But it feels like 1 week. So I don't know what's going on. Was I here last week? What's today's date? I know I was here last week. Last week was an amazing session. All right. So I want to talk to you about something before I talk to you about what I'm here to talk to you about. So what I want to chat with you about is taking scary action. All right. And then we're going to go into your morning daily routine, and then we'll wrap up today's Power Up with Power Coach Alishia. But the reason why I want to talk to you first about taking daily action, taking scary action, is because I have been analyzing my own scary action and what it's done for me opposed to what it was doing to me. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. And then again, like I said, we'll go into the morning/daily routines. So as most of you probably know, first and foremost, I was a direct seller for 7 years, and then on and off after that 7 years for another forever. I don't know. Direct seller, probably still to date, right? So I'm a direct seller on and off to date, right? But I've been a direct sales coach I was a direct sales coach, and I launched my business in 2012. And so I was a direct sales coach from 2012 to finally 2019, the end of 2019. So pretty much 8 years. No, the end of 2020. What year are we in? To the end of 2020. So like basically almost 9 years. April 12th or something of this year would be 9 years as a direct sales coach. And it was about 2015 where I was starting to get to the point where I wanted to follow my dreams of being a life coach and a speaker. But every single time I took action to go on that track, I was always pulled back to what was comfortable, what paid the bills, right? Which I'm sure you can relate to. Constantly taking the action of what feels comfortable and what pays the bills. So I did that for another 3 years. And then in 2018, I had an entire rebuild of my business where at that moment I decided, it was the beginning of 2018, actually March of 2018. I decided, okay, I am now stepping out. I am letting that go. That's like a closed chapter in my life. I am going to be a life coach and a speaker. I was so excited. I was so ready. I was so focused. It was like everything. And about halfway through 2018, I fell back again into direct sales coaching. It became the forefront of everything. Fast forward in 2019, I don't know that I did much life coaching as far as programs and launching. In 2020, I was back into, okay, I want to find a way. So the beginning of 2020, I was back into that, following my heart, my dreams, what I'm connected to, what felt good. And then again, fell back. And I keep saying back because forward is free, backward is trapped, right? And so again, just falling back to what was easy, comfortable, paid the bills. So come to the end of 2020, I hit this point where there was no way that I could continue choosing safe over scary. Okay? And the reason why I'm sharing this with you before we go into your morning daily routines is because of the morning daily routines help you have confidence. They help give you power. They help give you what it is that you're missing that makes you stay comfortable, right? And during this entire time, I'm back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and do my daily power up and taking action for myself and keeping, my mind right and all the different things. And so anyways, the end of 2020 comes and I literally am completely incapacitated. Like I hit my rock bottom of rock bottoms. In this moment, I can't do anything, right? I don't want to sell anything to anyone. I don't give a fuck what it is. I didn't want to go speak. I didn't want a life coach. I didn't want to sell a product. I didn't want to be a direct sales coach. I just didn't want to do anything. It was like, I needed a break from life. I needed a break from everything, every pressure, anything you could imagine. And so that's what I did. I took a break and I just was. And during this time, it wasn't like it wasn't amazing. It's not like during this time I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so free. This is so amazing. I love, not having anything because my personality is like very grinding. Like I got to do this. I got to do that. Rock and roll. Let's launch this. Let's build that. Let's change lives. Let's make it happen. Like that is me through and through. It's just who I am. So taking a break for a lot of people sounds amazing. Oh my God, it would be so great if I could do that. I hated every minute of it, but it was what I needed, right? So in this midst of this break, I'm doing my best to decide, am I actually going to step forward and be a life coach? Am I going to go get a job at my brother's company where I'll make a couple $100,000 a year? I'll go to work Monday through Friday. I will be, one of their top sales reps and never look back. I'm done being an entrepreneur. It was, what am I doing moving forward? And I got in this like stuck pattern. I didn't know. Hold on, my front door just opened. That was weird. Okay, I'm back. I didn't know what I wanted to do, which is weird because we all believe we know what we want to do. I just got done telling you, like, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably 20 different times I'm off. Okay, I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to be a life coach. I'm going to be a speaker. I'm going to do it. And then, I'm, back as a direct sales coach. So why was I attempting to think about what it was I wanted to do? Isn't it a no-brainer? You say all the time, Alishia, that you're born to be a speaker. You're born to be a life coach. It's like air for you. It's second nature. It's what you do. So why were you thinking? And the reason why I was thinking is because every single time I have stepped forward in faith for myself, I have always stepped back in comfort. And I know that this story and what I'm sharing with you will connect with, whoever it's supposed to. So if you're listening to this and this connects with you, awesome. I've been pretty what's the word I'm looking for? I haven't talked a lot about actually quitting as a direct sales coach. Um, Retiring, I guess the word is more like retiring as a direct sales coach. I haven't really. I just took action for that, right? Well, I couldn't just jump into this life coach speaking thing again because I'm like, every time I do that, it doesn't work out. Every time I do that, I end up stepping back into comfort. And so, is this something I actually want to do? Do I want to be a life coach? Do I want to step out into scary? Or do I just want to go get a job, which is safe still, and make a lot of money, Because that's all the job would have been for. I'm an amazing salesperson, but God knows I don't want to sell high speed internet, cable, Anyways, so I just chilled and I just took time and I hardly worked. I hardly did anything. It was horrible, really, truly. It wasn't amazing. I didn't feel rejuvenated. I still don't feel rejuvenated, but I'm really excited. So that's a little different. We'll get into that in just a second. But it wasn't like it was rejuvenation time. It was just time of being so I could figure out what the fuck I was going to do. Oh, do you guys want to see my amazing nails? Do you see the beautiful butterflies? Aren't they beautiful? Okay, anyways. So then it was probably the beginning of February. So I would say from Thanksgiving to the beginning of February, I was all over the place. And just not knowing what I want to do and committing and not committing and going forward and backing up and editing. Okay, maybe I'll be a direct, blah, 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 but wasn't making many commitments. I had all these ideas, but I wasn't committing to anything. And it was good that I didn't. And then mid-February, I I don't know. It's weird. I know that, Facebook like retargets and stuff, but this wasn't a retargeting thing because a coach of mine that I had followed for a very long time, she didn't run ads for this program, but Facebook just either started showing me the notifications for the group again, or I started paying attention to them, right? Because there's a difference. You might be consistently getting notifications for these groups that you're in, but you just don't pay attention. You're like, what happened? I thought that I was in this group, right? And then, anyways, so I noticed that she was running, her free training and, that sort of thing. And I took it again and I started connecting to being a life coach again and feeling confident that I could do it and realizing that she was the coach for me to, take her program. I remember when I went through her free training a year ago, I was like, oh, she's not for me, right? A year later, I'm like, yeah, this is what I need. So I joined her program. Meanwhile, we go to Florida on vacation. This is important. It's called synchronistic events. And when you are not taking that time every day for yourself in your morning routine, you don't notice synchronistic events. You don't notice the universe aligning things for you for what you truly want and what your heart desires, okay? That's why this is so important before we go and we get into the, why and the what of your morning routines. So at this point, I journaled and meditated religiously through the month of January, like towards the end of January and all of February. Like it was crazy. Now, March is a whole different story. I've hardly meditated or journaled at all. And that's just me being honest. So my mom calls me when I'm in Florida on vacation and tells me, you'll never guess what I did. I just opened a store. Da 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 da. I was like, oh my God, like you didn't even call me. You didn't even talk to me. Like there's nothing. She's like, nope, I just signed the paperwork and that's what I'm doing. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's so amazing. I'm so glad you're happy. Da 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 da. Right. So we have this whole conversation about her, starting this store. And the first time I think it was the first time I went to her store, I was like, oh my God, I would love to open one. And Daniel was like all for it, which anytime I have a new idea, he's like, oh, for fuck's sakes, sort of thing. He never says that, but I know he's feeling it. You can see it all over his face. God, Alishia, you're doing something else, right? But he was like, you should, because I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my store. It wasn't question marky. It wasn't anything. I knew exactly what I wanted to do because in my journal, this is crazy, you guys. I've been journaling for just 30 days? Whatever, end of January to whenever I signed my lease. I journaled about this store I was opening. And when I journaled it, I didn't journal location. But in my head, I knew what location I was opening it in. I was opening it in the town I live in. And I knew that the rent on this store would be like 4Gs a month, because this little town that we live in is where um, it's just like more higher end. And so I knew it would be about 4Gs a month just in rent, and then whatever to run it, whatever. But I was like, I want to open this store here. And so that was my plan. But in my journal, I never said that. I just said that I was opening this store. And anyways, long story longer, I was like, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to take away from this journey that I'm on, building my life coaching brand and what I'm doing there, to build this store. It's not the right time. I'm not sure how I would navigate having one-on-one clients and running this store, and then on my back end work that I do, and then working with my coach. And so this is all the things on my mind, right? See, these are the things that we say, instead of just like listening. So I decided I wasn't going to do it. Daniel's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I just don't see how that could happen. So then there's this thing called market that happens in this marketplace. And it's where once a month, it's like a big shindiggery. Lots of vendors come. Everybody sets up tables. And I was up there because I got a table for my boys for their lawn business, their lawn and weeding business. So I'm at this building for that, and they had set up a table. And it was right outside my mom's store. So I was helping my mom and answering questions and da-da-da. And then it was just that. It was just go find the lady and tell her you want this store. This is funny. You guys, listen to this. Because if you're not in tune with yourself, you don't see this stuff. You miss everything. I've never opened a brick and mortar store in my life, ever. I've never had a brick and mortar store. The first actual store that I opened, considered like a store, was LuLaRoe Boutique online. Secondarily was my Sweet Treat Boutique. LuLaRoe was amazing, and then we went to Epiphany, and that was fine, but they had inventory problems, and it annoyed me, so I quit. The Sweet Treat Boutique was good in one way, but a complete nightmare and shit show in another, and I lost money. I didn't make any money running that boutique, which is crazy to think about, but I didn't. And so I don't have any real, any experience in retail face-to-face like this, okay? All right, so I'm there and I just hear it. Okay, so go tell her, go find the lady and tell her you want this store or this room. And it was a different room than what I'm in. It's like a dark purple color. I'm telling you, this is all relative to today's topic. So stick with me. I need you guys to stick with me. I know you're like, why is she going off on the tangent? This isn't a tangent. This is part of your training, and it will wrap back around to the morning routine, okay? I'm getting this room. So I decide I want it. I love it. It's really, really, really dark. And what I mean by dark, I mean like there's not a lot of natural light in there. The walls are a darker purple. The floor is dark. Like it's just dark, right? And which is really opposite of my personality. My personality is like bright and happy, and for the most part, bubbly and excited and animated and loud and all the things. And this room was actually the opposite of my personality. This is fucking nuts. You can't make this stuff up. So I go and I sit down with the lady and I tell her what room I want. I've already made the decision I'm not getting a store. Did you guys hear me? I'm not going to rent a room. I'm not going to take on that money right now that I need to spend. I'm just building my life coaching business. I'm just establishing my brand as a life coach. Daniel is working and paying the bills, but I can't be saying yes to extra outgo every month and all of this. So that was the decision I made. But now I'm sitting in this seat getting ready to sign a lease. And she says, what room did you want? And I said, it's that lady, the one that's moving out. And she goes, really? I would have thought you wanted the one across the hall that's right next door to your mom's. And I was like, well, I did want the one right next door to my mom's because I want to be able to see easily if people are going into my mom's store. So she's not there. I can, run her store. If I'm not there, she could run my store. And we're across the hall from each other and we can see each other's stores. And she goes, no. Let me show you this room. So this is the lady telling me that she's not renting me this dark room. This is nuts. I'm telling you, it's weird. So I'm not going to rent a room. Now I'm sitting there to sign the lease to rent a space. And she's telling me that I'm not getting this room. This is not the room for me. She shows me the room she thinks I should get, and it's perfect. It's crazy. It's bright. And I knew I need to make it brighter. I knew there were some things I wanted to change. Wait till you guys see the before and afters. You're going to die. I've been teasing Crystal and Morgan with them for like 2 weeks. But the difference, this room was already lighter, but it's even lighter now. It's pure perfection to who I am. And so I was like, okay, signed it, done. Okay. So now I have this store that I'm launching on April 3rd, just a few days away from right now, face to face, real life, in person. And I'm like, I'm not stressed about selling and running the store and I've invested a lot of money into this store that we should have been saving, right? Because I'm not like actively grinding. And yeah, eventually, not right now. It's not done. I'm at home right now, but I will definitely done. I'm going to do, I'll do a before and after post on my personal profile. And then once the store is ready, probably on Friday night this week, I'm going to do a live and show it off. So it's not done yet. The store is not open yet. So I think inventory has probably been my biggest thing. But anyways, I absolutely love what I'm about to do. Like, I'm doing it, but I'm not quite there. I love it. And I was led there. I was easily in a mental place where I had said no, but when I heard yes, move forward, take action, or when I heard that, I was in a space in my mind and in my head that I could hear it. Most times there are messages being given to you. There are signs being shown to you. There are people making a way for you. People are showing up for you. By the way, I did not know the lady I rented the store from or the room from. I didn't know her. So there was no reason she should have known that the room I ended up renting was the right one. So that's something that it's really important to know. I knew her, and in less than 5 minutes, she showed me the room that was mine and told me that the other room was not mine. And she didn't have any benefit to do that. So it's not like, well, yeah, she was just trying to get more money out of you. No, it's not, because they were the same price. So all of these things lined up because I was ready. I was in the headspace. I was in the clarity. I had done the major amount of work for the last, I don't know, it was about a month and a half up until that point. I didn't even start getting the store ready until March 22nd. That was our first day that we stepped foot in the store. March 22nd. What was that? A week ago. A week and 2 days ago. Okay. So I had to get myself ready to be able to hear, right? To see, to say yes, to show up, to be able to take that action. It's been very stressful doing my best to figure out like best products and source products. And when you see the room, you'll see why. Like, I'm very particular about how I want it set up. I'm very particular about color scheme, where things are, the flow of the room, what it's like when you're walking through. Like, I have everything so freaking set, and it can't edit. It has to be this way. And so it's been quite a challenge, but my husband's brilliant and he's really pulled my vision together. So it's been really awesome that way. So I want to help you get yourself ready, your energy ready, your mindset ready, the clarity that you need for whatever it is that's coming for you. Because we are 2 months ago, so January, February, March, end of January, if you would have told me that this is what was coming for me, I would have told you you're crazy. I'm stressed out to the max. Daniel just, started a job 30 days ago, blah, 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 because he'd only had been in his job for 30 days at this point. If you would have told me that that's what was coming for me, I would have not believed you. But because I was taking the action for my mindset, it started at the end of January, and I literally have journaled so many things into existence just since then. A lot of things in my journal have already come true, and that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about your morning and daily routines. So every person who is vibrating at a higher level and a higher quality of life, they have a morning routine, and it isn't necessarily important that whatever their morning routine and what they're doing is that's what it is that you're following, but You want to be following a morning routine that gives your mind, your body, and your soul what it is that it needs. Now, inside of my elite life coaching program, I have my own process that I teach called the Daily Power Up. I've taught different parts of it inside of this community. I go into a lot more depth inside the Daily Power Up, helping you have meetings with your family, reorganize your household, reorganize your life, restructure your schedule. All of that happens a lot more one-on-one together as we're building that. But today I want to be talking to you about why it is so important. Aside from everything I just told you in my own story, because of having my morning routine, doing my daily power up, taking that action, and not editing at all, it's got me to where I am. Now, I will also tell you that in the last 30 days, I have been, doing all these different things and been busy here, busy there, this and that. And then it was vacation, and then we went to Vegas, and then it's just been nuts. And so I would say the last 3 weeks, my morning routine's been very jacked up, and I find myself exhausted. I find myself more overwhelmed with decisions. I'm finding myself more stressed out. And so I know that this has got to end, right? So the store, like I said, opens on Saturday. I'm doing, there's a big Easter event there. There's probably going to be 1,500 people who go through my store. And then I'm doing a launch, and it's a ladies' night launch the following Friday. But between now and then, I've got to get my daily power up back in, got to get my morning routine back on track, because that's what I need, right? So as you start this process, you're going to realize that when it's not there, you're going to see the difference in it not being there. So first thing it does is it helps set the intention for the day. All right. And it's really giving you that foundation of what your day is going to go like. And I'll tell you, some days I will journal and meditate, and I'll even go for a walk with my damn pig. And it's not like it's the most amazing day, right? So there's still going to be days where you do this morning routine, and it's not like it helps you. It's not like, well, let me rephrase. It's not like in that moment it feels amazing, okay? Because it doesn't always feel amazing in that moment. It's what it's doing for you in the future that is so freaking important, and that makes all that difference. So I do want to explain that what you're doing in your morning routine is not about the effects it has right now. Okay? It's not about the effects it has right now. It's about the effects it's going to have later. Okay. So it helps you also get focused and clear for the day. So when you journal and meditate and exercise, and you take those 3 actions, you're going to notice that you have more clarity and you're more focused. And the more you put in place a more consistent routine like this, the better you're going to find your overall vibration of your energy, your day, and your mood. Okay. So again, it's not about getting other people ready for the day or doing everything for everyone else, but this is about preparing your mind, body, and soul for the day, for yourself, for your future self, your future life. And future could be a minute from now, 10 minutes from now, 20 minutes from now. It's preparing for that future version of yourself. And it's going to help you stay on track with achieving your goals. And that's both personally and professionally, right? So I was journaling and meditating like a crazy person and religiously, because I was feeling very stressed and overwhelmed and really down in the dumps, and I couldn't make any decisions for myself, kind of like I was stuck. So my purpose and point of journaling and meditating wasn't for me professionally. It was to help me personally. And then all of a sudden it created all of these amazing personal, results for me, right? So maybe you want to change careers. Maybe you want to get a promotion at your job. Maybe there is a business that you want to launch. Maybe there is something that you want to say yes to, right? By taking this time for yourself, you're going to be able to show up in these places and be able to make those decisions, right? Have the confidence to take that action. Where right now you might just be thinking about it. Oh, that's not for me. I can't do that, right? So it's also going to increase your productivity and help reduce your stress and anxiety. So Right now, I have like anxiousness and stress for a different reason than I did 2 months ago. 2 months ago, I felt like my entire life was crashing down around me. I felt exhausted and depleted, like I had nothing else to give, like I had pushed myself way too far and made decisions that I shouldn't have for years, right? And so, um, I had a different type of stress and anxiety. It was, I want a divorce. I don't want to do this business anymore. I want to, run away for like 3 months and figure out what the hell I'm doing with my life. Like that was the kind of stress and overwhelm that I felt. Well, now my stress and overwhelm comes from, do I have enough products? Like, are we going to get this done in enough time? Did it, just to get this stuff done? Am I going to really be able to manage the schedule that I've laid out for myself, for my life coaching clients, my launches that I want to do, free trainings that I want to do, that sort of thing? Am I going to be able to do those things? Kind of future tripping, but just that's the sort of thing that's going through my mind. Like we have so much to do for launch on Saturday. Like it's unbelievable. I believe that we're going to pull it together. It's going to be okay. But in my head, I'm like, can we do this? So things that can be included in your morning routine are exercising, reading a personal development book, meditation, journaling, simply eating breakfast. Plenty of us get up and get going and we don't even take the time to eat breakfast. Making a list of the most important things you want to accomplish for the day. I would say 3 top things that you want to accomplish for the day. Setting a daily affirmation or reciting a daily affirmation to help empower you for the day. Some of us who work from home, getting dressed, right? So that's another thing that you would put inside your morning routine. So I would say choose 3 things. My journal has a lot of these different things in it, but I'm really big on meditating, journaling, and exercising. So for me, that's how I see it: meditating, journaling, and exercising. So that's what I would recommend that you start with. Hopefully you're already eating breakfast. Hopefully you're already getting dressed. But see, that's interesting too. On my notes here as I'm reading this and I'm thinking about that, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I have been struggling to do anything else besides grind. Like I have 62 fucking pieces of vinyl to do. Oh my God, you guys, vinyl is a nightmare. I would charge $150 for every single vinyl item if I could. It's a nightmare. So I have like 62 vinyl pieces to do. I have this to paint. I have this, like, it's just crazy all the things that I have to do. And so just getting up, getting dressed, getting ready for the day is a challenge, right? Because I have so many things on my plate. Now, one of the things that I will mention in the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, he talks about harmonizing your life. So this isn't about perfection, always doing it every time and being perfect at it. It's about the harmonizing of your actions. So as I'm talking to you about this, I'm saying, it's a little bit crazy and it's a little bit hard for me to do, whatever. I won't stay in this place of craziness where I'm struggling to get dressed and ready for the day because all this other stuff is on my plate. I won't stay in this place because I know the importance of harmonizing and I know the importance of the morning routine that I have. And so I want you to remember that life happens and, things come up and things get busy, but it's about making sure that you don't stay there, right? There's no such thing as balance. Nothing is ever even. So as we're pouring into opening my first store ever in person, plus I have an online store, which is crazy busy right now, and tons of amazing products and dresses and all this stuff happening. Right now, that's taking 98% of my focus and my attention, but it's for the short term. Then that will shift. It'll be part of a weekly schedule. And then the next part that will take a big chunk of my time will be doing breakthrough sessions and helping you, get out of your own way, put yourself first, and find yourself again. So we'll be on one-on-one calls, chatting about where you're stuck, what's going on. I'll be helping you break through that. And hopefully we'll be working together, right? If not, you'll leave the call with some great information and some next steps that you can take. And it would have been worth your time to show up and be there. And it's something that I love to do. So it's always worth It's always worth my time, right? So then it's going to shift it for a short amount of time. I'll be doing quite a lot of those calls on a weekly basis. And then that will even out. And then I'll have the store and my clients. And then I'll end up doing a big workshop. And then when I go into a workshop, it's, another shift again, and it takes up a chunk of time, and you're interacting, and I'll be talking to you. It's just like a whole bunch of different things added on to that. But then there's market every month at my at the building that I'm in, and then there's my ladies night every month at my store. And so the harmonizing will come in, but you're always in a harmonization. You're always in a place for a chunk of time, and there's always something being neglected. Despite what anybody has told you, there is always something being neglected in a harmonization. In balance, nothing is, right? In balance, everything's equal. In balance, you've got it all. Well, there's no fucking such thing as balance. That's the thing. No such thing as balance, because something is always, quote unquote, being forgotten, being, shifted. If it's big sports time, like right now it is for my kids, it's fucking crazy. I don't even know how we're doing any of this with Daniel having a full-time job, but kids in sports, right? So maybe you have more than 2 kids. I think if I had 3 kids, I'd lose my fucking mind on sports. But, maybe you have more than 2 kids and you end up with all these different things you're doing. Okay, well then during sports season, let's say, that is where a chunk of your time is spent. During football season in the fall, I spend a lot of time, doing that kind of stuff. I spend a lot more time helping my girlfriend, who is the team mom. I'm the assistant team mom, being there, posting stuff, interacting. I don't go to every practice. I don't really see any fucking reason to be eaten by bugs, but I'm doing a lot more there. So then the harmonization shifts to that, right? Do you see what I'm saying? There's no such thing as balance. That means everything's getting equal attention and time. No such thing. Okay. So when you realize and you grasp the concept of harmony and harmonizing, you realize okay, right now I spend so much time in my store. I'm not doing a lot of phone calls, right? I don't have time to launch. There's all these other things going on. Daniel and I don't spend a lot of time together day to day, no date nights, hardly any family nights. Those things are not happening right now. But flip side, we're, doing the kids sports. Daniel's coaching Ronan's baseball for the first time ever, and so there's all these other things going on that are taking up that time. When you realize that it's harmonized instead of balance, you don't get stressed out and frustrated that you're not doing it all, because you can't ever do it all, right? And your morning routine helps keep things from falling, you emotionally, when I say things, helps keep you from falling apart and hitting rock bottom, and actually in return helps you vibrate higher, make clearer, better decisions. And when you realize you're harmonizing instead of balancing, then you go, okay, that I'm just not going to be able to do. That is just not going to happen. My time is being spent here. I'm doing this instead, right? I am, inundated here. But remember, in harmonizing, you never stay there. Otherwise, you end up stuck. And then that's where I come in, is helping you get unstuck, take that action to put yourself first and find yourself again. Because when you get stuck, you're stuck for years. Some of you have been stuck since you were 11 years old, right? And so when you get stuck, you stay there, and then you're not balancing, you're not harmonizing, you're actually going backwards, right? So with all that being said, choose 3 things off this list: exercising, reading a personal development book, meditation, journaling, making a list of things you want to accomplish for the day, setting up a daily affirmation. Choose 3 things off this list and start doing it every single day as part of your morning routine, just to get in that space and time for you, so that you can have the clarity, the headspace, the wherewithal to see what the universe is putting in place for you, that the universe is putting right in front of you to say, hey, here's this for you. I'm bringing this to you. I have this for you. And you to go, holy shit, there it is. I've got it, right? So Crystal says, I remember all of that. Yeah, I am doing pure romance still. I'm like, so when I'm not doing parties, I just don't even think of direct sales. Crystal says, I'm so glad you've chosen your path. You've already seemed so much happier. I am a lot happier. I am. Having Daniel making the money is stressful because we have been married for 15 years and our finances, a roof over our head, the kids eating, lights on has never been in his hands, have always been in mine. So this is probably the epitome of relinquishing control, like releasing control, because I've always been the one to make the money and make sure we were okay, right? So I think the hardest part of everything has been that, which actually connects directly to that falling back into comfort and being a direct sales coach, because I'm so good at it. And I'm the only one like I am that I can make money fast. I can help people in their businesses fast. It's a win-win in that arena. But the arena that it's missing is my fulfillment. So although I don't have, 1,000 life coaching clients and 1,000 people on my email list that got there because I am, they saw some post or they, signed up for something of mine as a life coach, I feel so much more fulfilled and like I'm living on purpose now, even with this store. It's products, but it's crystals. I love crystals. I use crystals and essential oils every single day. I love angels and Tibetan singing bowls. I love aromatherapy. Like, my store is me. I love pure romance products. I've used them for 14 years, and so it's weird because it's a fuck ton of work and it feels like work, but it doesn't feel like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. There hasn't been a point in this crazy journey of launching this store where I've been like, I don't want to do this. This isn't a good idea. The whole way through, I've been so connected and gung-ho with it. You are so welcome, Cindy. Cindy says, thank you for sharing your stressful times. That's where I've been, but for a lot longer. There is a more peaceful time in the future. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. You need this. Yes, Cindy, I am actually going to do a live and talk about things inside of the Soul Healing Zone store group, just to get everybody on the same page. I feel like people have been shopping and it's been a crazy week. I think I've done $2,000 in sales in 1 week, but I want to get everybody up to speed. So I will be doing a live in there in just a few minutes to get everybody on the same page. But I do want to say, if you love this group, the Power Up Your Life community, please add or give the link, which is community.soulhealingzone.com, to your friends that you feel like could benefit from this. And we're live here every Tuesday, except for one Tuesday a month is replay day, where you can catch up on all the power ups with Power Coach Alishia for the month on that Tuesday. Right now we're doing spotlight sessions on Thursday, and those will continue for just a little while. The spotlight sessions are dependent on whether or not my special guests, schedule stays the same or if something comes up. So if you see a spotlight session go up and then you see it canceled, that's just because my guest had something come up. And so we'll be working those out. But you can expect that every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, except for one Tuesday a month, which is your replay catch-up day, we're deep diving into one aspect of a topic. Now, I want to mention this before we begin to wrap up here. Somebody sent me a message and said, how is coaching with you different than what you're teaching in the group? Like, if I can just go through the group and get it in all the videos, I'm not sure, why I would coach with you, which is it's an illogical statement, but a logical statement all at the same time. I would never do a training every single week that gives away the everything of what I'm doing behind the scenes. There are a few people on here. Morgan's not on here right now, but Latoya, for example, she was in my Elite Life Coaching program, not this last Thursday, but the Thursday before that, I did a spotlight session with her. She can tell you that joining these lives are not the same as what we do when we're coaching together. It's not the same type of work. We're not going that deep. We're not making the transformation. I know that showing up here, you feel like, oh my God, that was amazing. It was just what I needed. But that's because of my ability to translate my message into impact for you, right? That's because this is me in my zone of badassery. It's what I do best, but it doesn't touch what happens inside of Elite Life Coaching, especially my one-on-one version of that, because that is all customized to you. It's a customized plan for you, process your own accountability, navigating your life, making sure that you stick to it, you do the work, you get the results. It's just it's a different place than just being here and me talking to you and giving you one little sliver, right? Just a little sliver of information, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, some things do overlap. Of course, my daily power up that I have taught for free is definitely part of the daily power up in my paid program. It has to be. It wouldn't make sense for it not to be, right? But what I teach in the free is not all of what you're getting in the paid, so on and so forth. So the one thing I want to encourage you to do is, if you want the support and help in getting out of your own way, putting yourself first, and finding yourself again, I want you to book a breakthrough session with me. I want you to go sign up. Let's chat. I want to see where you're at, help you get some clarity. And if my Elite Life Coaching program is a good fit for you, then we'll get you into it. You need to say yes for yourself, right? If you have been stuck for a long time or longer than you would like to be, that is holding you back from the greatness in your life. It's holding you back from the money that you want to make, the relationships you want to have. It's not just about you helping you. It's about changing your entire life and the way that you lead your life, right? So go to breakthrough.soulhealingzone.com. Again, that's breakthrough.soulhealingzone.com. It's a free session. Every single person that has joined my Elite Life Coaching program has done a breakthrough session first. That's where the clarity happens. That's where you find out and connect with what your next steps are. And your next steps are not always to hire me as your coach, just so you know. Every single person isn't sold on hiring me as their coach. It's not the way that works. If that's not what you need, that's not what you're given. So that's the beautiful thing about having one of these sessions as well. So with that being said, breakthrough.soulhealingzone.com. I'm going to go and jump into the Soul Healing Zone Facebook group. And that group is all about products and selling and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to be talking about what's going on, what's coming up for products, and the store launching, and my plan for online selling and that sort of thing. So if you are not part of that group, you go to shop.soulhealingzone.com. Make sure you go join that group. It's really important that you're in there. If you are excited to learn more about crystals and chakras, essential oils, like all of the stuff that's soul healing, that's the group to buy those products, right? If you can trust me with your mindset and helping you take action for yourself through mindset type stuff, then I'm sure you can trust me on the product side and educating you and helping you with the stuff that will help you heal your soul as well. So I will see you back here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back here for another session. In the meanwhile, book your breakthrough session, or if you have any questions, you can always shoot me a message. As I always say, always remember to give yourself some grace. Say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. And progress, not perfection. I am sending you love, light, peace, and positivity. We'll see you next week. Bye.